Just wanted to put this out real quick. I just put up a video of me beating the Mage Tower in the newest 9.2 patch, and from what I understand, at the end of 9.1.5, they had put in some other things that kind of made it a little bit more difficult. Because from what I understand before, and this is what I had to figure, it actually took me quite a while to figure out that because the first video I looked up, people were just outranging raced in the last phase. So after realizing that that's not possible anymore, it made things a little bit more difficult. So anyway, so I figured I would just I had a lot of people asking me what talents I was running. And I just actually had people whispering me in game, asking me if I had beaten it, and asking me kind of what, or just saying what they were struggling with. And so since I pretty much spent close to 200 pulls doing this place, I figure I can kind of like share the wealth and like what I learned in all of my pools, because I started this fresh from scratch with no knowledge of the Mage Tower whatsoever. So I just started playing this game the end of BFA, so I never played Legion, and I wasn't playing the game either whenever the Mage Tower was released in 9.1.5. So I played a little bit at the beginning of Shadowlands and didn't play again until the end of 9.1.5. But I had a lot of fun. The set was definitely really worth getting. But without further ado, I'm going to go into the talents and my gear that I was wearing, which is nothing special, the consumables I was using, and I'll go into like an in-depth guide of the actual video itself of me killing them and what's going through my head. Because the route that I kind of developed during this is kind of it's boiled down to almost an exact science of where you can get the pulls to spawn. Okay, so talents with these, I pretty much stuck with this the last, I would say, 50 pulls or so. I'd never changed Fortress of the Mind. I kept this the whole time. I played a little bit with intangibility, but I learned that if I'm having to use a second disperse, then something's out of whack anyway, and I'm probably spending too much time on something else and not going to get the kill anyway. So I stuck with Body and Soul plus the speed bonus you get from your Power Word Shield. The more distance you can create between you and Karam, the more damage you do, and damage is your best friend in this place. And then Twist of Fate is the best that I had. I started out the very beginning with Searing Nightmare because that's what someone said to do on some website or something like that, but I think it's a bait because I learned that if I'm spending any amount of time damaging the ads without it being on Race or Karam, then I'm wasting time and wasting damage. And Misery is a very viable, especially for like keeping dots up. But I think Twist of Fate, especially once you get that below 35% on Race, is just crucial. And this is the row 35 is where I played with the most, and I think it's going to be preference. Mind Bomb, I think I don't even use it too much. If you do it right, you don't really need to use Mind Bomb. But Psychic Horror, again, it was the I think that Psychic Scream is absolutely trash. So if you're going to use anything, use Mind Bomb if you're looking for a CC. But I didn't like using Last Word for the thing for if I get in trouble, then Psychic Scream just absolutely sucks because most of the time I have like 20 ads on me, so I can't control which 5 that I want to get off me. And it just seemed like pretty unreliable. And I have it down to the point to where it's like I don't need any more silences than I already have. I can use my disperse when I need it, and if you just time it right between your pulling your insanity and using your silences, then it works out just fine. Psychic Horror, it's okay, but I'd rather have Mind Bomb because if you have everything grouped up correctly, you get a stun on everything, and it just gives you much more space, and it's much easier to just be able to place Karam whenever he's moving fast. Shadow Crash, you can use this or Auspicious Spirits. In my opinion, Shadow Crash is just way too freaking good for whenever everything's all grouped up, and it's just a really, really good damage. Void Torrent, I don't think you're going to use anything else besides this. Very, very good. This is how I kill my hands from beyond. Hungering Void, really, this is just preference. I don't think you use Surrender to Madness because it's just not worth it. So it's either going to be Ancient Madness or Hungering Void. Okay, so now I'll go into the gear and my stats. Sorry if I just bumped the mic there. Here, this is everything that I wore there. It's just pretty much stacking haste and mastery, although I did do versatility at the end because it helps in the last phase because I let I let Raced and Rage and just deal with him and do my Shadow Mends between there. And so the healing that I do with my Shadow Mends increase that little bit, I found to be nice. And plus the extra damage reduction from this big Shadow Bolts that he does. One thing I will say though is I think is a must get, because I didn't have any PvE trinkets. I ended up going and farming out this Soul Letting Ruby, and I probably killed the boss within 11 runs of getting this ruby. The damage you get from this, so I was getting him from an average of 66% to an average between 56 and 62%. Within the first damage window, which is a huge help. I can't tell you how many times I got him between 6 and 2% and just absolutely choking, and just having that little bit of extra damage in one of those windows helps so much. But yeah, I don't have really any sockets on anything besides my trinket, or besides my unity. That's just for the traits, but everything else, oh yeah, the speed. One thing I did do is I bought a level 50 piece so I could put a boar speed on it, and then I have speed on my cloak. What else do I have speed on? I felt like I had speed on one other thing. Minor speed. Oh, I used to have a trinket that gave me speed, but it was just too much. So yeah, there's my speed. And that's the gear. Alright, so I don't think I'm missing anything outside of here, so without further ado, I'll just skip you over to the actual video itself and go through that. Alright, welcome back. Here we go. So this is the same video that I used for my other video, just the kill video. But I mean, almost every single pull from like 50 pulls before this, I would say is going to look exactly like this one did. Pretty much what killed me is just messing up my damage rotations, not getting good crits, and not getting enough damage, or just choking my target swaps and getting too close to ads and getting one shot by them. It was an absolute nightmare. I can't tell you the stress that this place put me through, but let's get started here. So this is always my starting position. I'm using everything. I'm using War Scroll of Intellect. I'm using the Veiled Augment Rune. I'm using Haste Food, Shadow Core Oil, and Greater Flask. So I went all out because damage is very important, and I'm using Potion and Drums. So I always start here. He's going to start here, so he's going to do like a little bit of a, he's going to cut up to here, then he's going to do a little cut to here, and then he's going to come to me, and then I just kind of follow him back and go around the pool that's in the back there. But you'll see here, so I mark him, I stand right here, every time without doubt. Okay, I got so sick of hearing this, so I mark both of them typically. So this first damage window, I'm just dotting him up. I'm going to use a Mind Blast, Shadow Crash, and a Void Torrent right off the bat. Every time, and he should be down to like around 90-ish percent-ish. There he is. So now I'm just casting Mind Blast, Devouring Plague, everything, free casting it, and then just looking for procs off of Mind Flay and keeping my dots on them. Using my Power Word Shield to get space. Okay, if I remember right, I don't get too many procs here, so pretty much I want to keep them around. Once I get them to about right here, so this little shadow right here, you see, I should have them do like, I like to have like 40. The 44% is popping into my head because I just feel like I've seen that a lot. I just ran this so much that I know exactly kind of what percent he's going to be at everywhere. So yeah, 44% about right there. I've seen it 444. Okay, so I know now he's going down. I got a proc, so he's at 37% now, and I want him to be about right here in the pool. And I'll explain that to you once I show you his positioning whenever after the damage phase for Raced. Because again, this is all getting you set up to where you can get the pulls all to be in one spot and the hands to spawn in the same exact spots that you're at. So I know he's going to go down to the dots, so just one last Mind Flay, and then I'm popping everything that I have on Raced. So I'm popping PI, my pet, which I even do I did a lot of pulls without the pet because it was so annoying having him doing that stupid swimming mechanic where he just starts swimming at you. So I'm popping my absolutely, just everything. So I'll even use my potion and my drums here. Here we go, Void Eruption, PI, Pet, everything. And then I do my Ruby. I'm going to put everything on him and then do a Void Torrent. I always do, make sure you do the Void Bolt first because you get that damage increase to him. Then I'm just rotating between Devouring Plague, Mind Blast, Void Bolt until I run out of Void Bolts. And then I'm going to use, once I run out of Devouring Plagues, I just kind of fill the time with Mind Flay to kind of hopefully get a proc. So here I want to get him between, like anywhere between like 64% and like, and as much lower than that as possible. It just depends on how lucky you get with crits and whatnot. Okay. So here, now you see I have the ads slowly getting close to each other here, and I have Karam coming up here, so the first hand is going to spawn right over here every time. So I get my dots on him, and you don't want to cast Devouring Plague. I think I do here. On accident, you want to pull 100 Insanity here so that you can do 2 Devouring Plagues into a Void Torrent. So here, just dotting, make sure he's dotted up. Yes, yeah, I accidentally used a Devouring Plague. That's my bad. And I want to use a Shadow Crash, try to get the ads into it if I can. This is all getting your damage to him so that by the time he rounds the corner for the second hand that you're going to come to, I'll show you. So it's supposed to be 2 Devouring Plagues and a Void Torrent. Shouldn't need to silence this one. You'll have plenty of damage for it. Okay, then execute Shadow Word Death, and then so now it's just redotting Devouring Plague. You can cast your Devouring Plagues now because we have silence for the second hand, which is going to spawn. If you have that hand dead right there and you keep following him around with the dots, with his walking speed, the next hand will always spawn right here in this corner here. Okay, so you want to have him to, I like to get him under 50% whenever I stun him. Okay, another Shadow Crash. Redot here. Okay, so then I used a Mind Bomb on him just to slow him down so that I can just because I could here. It just gives me a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing room. It's not like there's anything that's important going on that I'll need a silence for anytime soon. So here I dot first and then I silence. Dot first, silence, maybe a Mind Blast, and then a Void Torrent. Get it down, then he's going to be chasing me again, so he's at 42%, 41, so this is perfect. So now I'm going to dot him again, and then probably Mind Blast or Devouring Plague, and then he's going to be ready. So if you keep him right here, all right, so because after this, you have to go big damage, so I'm going to do another Void Eruption and pop my cooldowns, not my PI. I'm not using my PI. I'm saving that for whenever I'm going to kill Karam. And then, so if you get him right here, then when he spawns back up, and if you're able to kite him again clockwise, then the next hand should spawn right here, which is going to be crucial. I'll explain why. 33.3, now damage on raced. Everything. Not everything, but you know what I mean. Void Eruption, and then I'm going to be using, I whiffed that so bad. And then you're going to Void Torrent here. Whenever you get a chance, I always kite up and around this thing right here. Just this because I like to get the ads on this side because I'm going to make another loop, keep going clockwise around. So this will kind of get the ads a little bit grouped up. But again, I always pop a Power Word Shield there to get a speed boost, so then always, like right here. So the reason why I keep everything over there is because I know the pull is going to go over into here. So plenty of space for the pull, redot him. It's very important during this whole time, whenever you're going to have this last chase phase, you want to have your dots on all the time and get as many Mind Blasts and Mind Flays onto raced as you can. You want to get his health down. Try to get it to below 30%. Before you go into kill phase. Okay, so now he's going to start up here, redot Karam. So again, we're positioned perfectly because Karam's over here. So now we're going to get a hand right here, right directly on raced. Which means the second hand's going to be about right here, just before it. Okay, keeping them dotted, keeping my damage on raced. Because I'll be able to kill Karam no matter what. Okay, so Grasp from Beyond. The hand spawned right on him, so I pulled my 100 Insanity. So now I'll have 2 Devouring Plagues and a Void Torrent to kill that, which will be perfect. Because I'll use my silence on the next hand. Okay, and then we're going to get a pull, and because we have raced, or because we have Karam over here, now we're going to get a pull in that same exact spot that we were just in. Which makes it easy to go around the ads and just get there. There we go. Nice little power word shield, get the speed. Fast Panda, really good value. Shadow Crash right there. So now we're going around again. So now since he's going to be about right here, Karam that is, that means the hand's going to be right there. And then so this hand, I'm going to use a silence. And I'm going to kill it after that. We're going to do 3 hands on this spell in this pool. Again, there goes the hand, dot it up, silence. Redot everyone because that damage is way more important. Kill it here with a Void Torrent, and I got a redot raced here, which I think I see that. Yep. Redot him, but then we gotta have a pull, and look, the positioning we have him there means that this is gonna go in the exact same spot. So see, you can predict where it's going to go. Here I have so much space, so I'm just redotting everything before I go in. So now he's moving fast. This is when it gets scary. So in that bubble right there, depending on how close he is there, it was just like really good positioning for me. I might mind bomb Karam there if it looks like he's going to be too close to me, because again, I'm popping all my CDs here. Again, I'm popping Void Eruption, PI, Pet, everything onto Karam. Not my Ruby though, save your Ruby. So you got to kill him because there's going to be another hand right here, and you have to disperse this hand. Unless you have him low enough to where you can kill him before the hand goes off, but I didn't trust myself because again, like here I have a little bug where I can't see his grasp, so I disperse, come back down, now he's going to die, and then Race is going to enrage. Okay, so now pretty much all you do here is I'm set up myself pretty well with health. Now you just kind of have to work on your trades. Again, if you keep doing the same loop, you're going to get the same things everywhere, but it doesn't really matter now that Karam's not chasing you. But now you're just pretty much trading your Shadow Mends for different Shadow Bolts kind of whenever you feel comfortable. But my health is looking good right now. And the most important cooldown you have here is your Vampiric Embrace. Once I start getting low on mana, that's when I'm going to pop this and probably a Void Torrent to get back to full health. But that's the last line of defense you have, and you have to kill him. Reapplying my dots, just keeping them on him, Shadow Mend, getting really good Shadow Mends here. Okay, so now he's in Execute. Not using my Shadow Word Death until I have my Vampiric Embrace up, because it will lose health, but I also get a bunch of healing from it. So it's a good trade. So here, now just pretty much just bob and weaving. Here I got the pull, had a nice spacing in between the ads here. And this is about it. Last one I'll have to do, nice and smooth. Just be careful with these ads. I'm finding that it's pretty unpredictable what they're going to do and when. Sometimes, like within that distance I was in, I'll get hit and just get one shot. Sometimes I don't. Shadow Mend, I'm going to pop my Void Eruption here again, just for good measure. This one made me a little bit nervous here because I hate seeing the red. And last Void Torrent for good measure. So that is it. That is how I beat it. Took me a lot of time, a lot of learning. And again, a lot of it's just kind of learning how you want to do it yourself. But so if there's any other questions, if I missed anything, this is my first kind of time doing anything like this, just let me know and I'll try to re-go over it.